Welcome to Focus on Abilities, a program about issues affecting the lives of people with disabilities. I'm Lex Frieden. I'll be your host for today's program. I am Professor of Biomedical Informatics at the University of Texas Health Science Center at Houston, and I direct the IRLU, Independent Living Research Utilization Program at TIER Memorial Hermann. We have an interesting pair of guests today for our program, and I want to introduce them when we come back. But before we break, I want to ask you a question that we'll answer before the end of today's program. One hobby that people are taking up that's kind of fun is flying drones. And the question is, can people with severe physical impairments actively participate in this hobby? Can we fly drones? We'll be back after this break for Focus on Abilities.
The following program is sponsored by IRLU, Southwest ADA Center, promoting compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act.
Hi there, I'm Lex Frieden. You're watching Focus on Abilities on HTV. We have two great guests for you today, and I want to introduce them. First of all, Vincent Sokhon. And Vincent, you are, what's your title?
I am a research assistant at the IRLU. I work with Professor Frieden, and I help out with any projects and technical assistance at the institution.
So you are actually pretty busy this summer, but in the fall and next year, you're going to have a whole new look at life, right?
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, this fall I'll be a first-year medical student at the American University of the Caribbean. So I'm grateful to have the opportunity to work for you and gain this amazing research experience. But I will be studying abroad to St. Martin, and I'll be attending medical school there on the beach. So it's a completely different side of the world, so I'm excited to get started.
Well, presumably they're going to focus on the education and not the beach, right?
Hopefully, we'll see.
And Vincent, have you thought about what type of medicine you want to specialize in?
I've been, for most of my life, I thought about interventional cardiology or electrophysiology, but after working with you, I'm starting to gain a little bit more familiarity with the PM&R, physical medicine and rehabilitation, so I'm getting a little bit more inclination to pursue that. So we'll see what happens during third and fourth year rotations.
Yeah, well, there's a long time between now and then.
Long time.
But we're glad to have you helping us.
Thank you.
You've been with the program now a couple of years. You were an intern.
Yes.
Before, and you were one of our ACE interns, okay?
Thank you.
This summer you've been helping us put together, you and your colleague Jocelyn Ferrado have been putting together a group of people with disabilities, spinal cord injury in fact, who have a desire to become better, more outspoken advocates. What's the name of that program?
This is called the TEAM program, the TIER Empowered Advocates program, and we call it the, for short, mentorship program. And essentially what we do is we pair, established disability advocates in the Houston community, those in organizations like PAbled or IC, we try to get established mentors, and we pair them with participants like Jose here and a few other mentees or participants, and we match them up and gave them the resources to, be self-advocates and try to, learn more about disability rights and be more independent and be more outspoken to other people and to inspire them. So this is essentially what we do.
Well, that makes a nice segue to Jose. Glad to have you on the program, Jose. Jose Maldonado, and you are from Porter, Texas, I understand.
Yes, that's where I currently live.
Jose, you were a participant in the program that Vincent describe this summer. What was your experience there?
My experience with the program, it was very interesting. I learned a lot about the laws, including with the ADA. Learned a lot about the law aspect of the disabled community, especially spinal cord injuries. What I've learned mostly from the hospitals were ways to treat the symptoms and how to care long term for my injuries, but not really the law side of it, like what kind of law rights I have with a spinal cord injury. So that was very informative. Other than that, I had a lot of fun. I was paired with a really good mentor. He guided me through my process as well. And
Who was that?
his name is Victor.
Yeah.
Victor, he works at West Gray, where they have rehabilitation sports and other events that are rehab related.
Yeah. Victor's pretty good athlete.
Yes, I saw when we met in person, he had me, like I was looking and he invited me to the wheelchair basketball. First I was gonna do it, but I got a little motivated by watching him push around, so I was like, okay, let's go. So I tried it. Even though I was struggling, I still pushed through it, through the pain.
So let me ask you, Jose, how did you get your spinal cord injury?
Yes. So originally, I was born and raised in California, Orange County, Santa Ana. That's where I was born and raised. And my family and I were coming from California to Houston, Texas, to visit family members back in July 2nd, 2015. That's where the accident happened. There was a car crash, and the truck barreled 3 times in the freeway. It happened in San Antonio. We never made it to Houston. And so...
Oh, wait a minute. You're driving from California to Houston. You make it all the way to San Antonio, and you have a crash.
Yes.
That rolled the vehicle 3 times.
Yes.
Is that on the freeway, on the highway, or where?
It was on the highway where there's nothing but grass. One of the beautiful highways in Texas.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. And originally, I wasn't even going to go, but I decided to go on a road trip. My family were packed up in the truck, and it was essentially, this was a minute, almost 50 seconds within them being in a vehicle and me quickly packing up so I can join them for the road trip.
So you weren't even planning to go?
No, I was going to stay
until
home.
just before the car left with the family.
All right.
Wow.
I was planning a party.
And you get to San Antonio and you roll off the side of the highway and through the grass?
Yes, the truck barreled 3 times on the freeway. I know because I was awake before, during, and even when I hit the floor. I didn't lose conscious at all. So I remember everything, to even the screamings, my little brother's screams. And so I didn't lose conscious until I was airlifted by helicopter on the hospital. I'm assuming they injected me with something. My mom and myself were airlifted on the same helicopter. My little brother and my little sister were taken by ambulance to Austin, Texas.
When the truck stopped rolling, was it on its face up or upside down?
It was on its tires when it stopped rolling. I know this because I saw the photos. They took pictures of the accident, and I saw the photos of the right hand. The doors were completely torn apart from the impact, the force. And when I landed on my stomach with my head facing this way. And I remember everything vividly. And people, what surprises me and what I'm thankful for is that the amount of people that stopped, I couldn't see, but I can hear all these voices of people telling me to stay calm, that we're with you.
So there were 4 of you in the vehicle?
It was me, my little brother, my little sister, my mom, and my stepdad.
Wow,
Yes.
five of you.
Just me and my little sister and my little brother were ejected out of the vehicle, and we landed on the grass side of the freeway.
I want to check in with you a little more about that in a minute, but
Sure.
we're going to take a break right now. Those of you who are watching on HTV, please stay tuned. We'll be back with more on Jose's story and with Vincent. We'll be right back.
St. Arnold, Texas's oldest craft brewery, shipped their first keg of beer in 1994.
The influx of so many people arriving here in Houston from around the world is very impactful on my palate as well as my canvas as an artist.
All the art that was in Houston really got me serious about making my own.
The Kennedy Bakery building is said to be one of the oldest haunts in Houston.
Thank you for watching Focus on Abilities. We're here with Vincent and with Jose. And Jose, we were talking about the crash, and you said there were your sister and your little brother and your mom and your stepdad. Were there any other injuries besides yours?
There was a lot of injuries.
I can imagine.
And there were, my stepdad broke his shoulder. My mom broke her back. She was on a brace for a couple months. It didn't reach the spinal cord, thankfully. My little brother, he broke his hip. He has a screw on there as well. He broke his elbow. My little sister died twice on the scene, got revived. She was in a 30-day coma. She was in a long rehabilitation, recovery, cognitive, because she has a traumatic brain injury from the accident as well. But now currently you can't tell that she has a traumatic brain injury.
Well, she can probably tell.
Definitely.
I mean, that's the thing about brain injury, as same as a lot of psychiatric impairments. People you can't see on the outside, but when people are struggling to find words, it may be a function of that brain injury or other conditions. So it's a blessing that you guys are all still alive and able to be participants. And your own story, you were taken by the helicopter to a hospital in San Antonio, no doubt.
Yes, Breckenridge Hospital. I think it was in Austin, Texas.
Yeah, in Austin.
Yes, I believe we were close to Austin when the accident happened.
Yeah.
We're still in the San Antonio area.
Yeah. So you went to Breckenridge, good hospital, and they probably stabilized you and saved your life at least once. The experience there lasted how long?
In Breckenridge, it lasted about a month, because my mom was fighting to have us all in one hospital, because all of us were in a hospital, except for my stepdad and my mom. She was on brace. But my mom was having to go from Dill's Children's Hospital, where my little brother and my little sister were staying at, to Breckenridge Hospital. So my mom and my stepdad would be rotating back and forth to visit us, to stay with us as well. As well, my uncle, he would stay with me a lot. Well,
so you had somebody with you 24/7.
Yes, because they had me on the air, what do you call it? Air vent?
Yeah, well, they probably
the mask.
Respirator.
Yes, my breathing. They were saying that my breathing at night was not really good, so they had to keep me on that, which I did not like, because I felt like I was choking on the air.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I couldn't move my arms like I could right now. My arms were just still, and I was paralyzed like this. So when I couldn't, I felt like it was suffocating me, the air. So at night, what I used to do, because my uncle was staying with me, I would try to call him, but I couldn't because of the mask. So it would just sound like and then he would come up and he would say what's wrong, and I would try to tell him, oh, that's the mask, and he moved it a little bit. I didn't like the mask at all. I kept fighting for them to give me the nose one until they finally they told me that they gave me this thing that they use in hospitals where you have to breathe and the little thing goes up.
Yeah.
They told me you reach this amount, then we'll get you.
Testing the lung capacity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and I took
so
that challenge.
So you really worked hard to get that bubble up in the tube, right?
Yes, the nose airway tube instead of the mask.
So, I mean, that was in, you said 2012,
2015.
2015. 9 years, do you still have nightmares and deal with PTSD that you probably had as a result of the injury?
No, no nightmares. What I have now currently. So let's go back. Before the first 2 years of my injury, I had a PTSD from the car accident because
Sure.
I was awake during everything. So I remember things vividly even to this day. And so being out in Texas roadways, you have no choice. There's no like place that you can travel by sidewalks, so you have no choice but to get back in a vehicle if you want to travel anywhere. So exposure therapy helped me get over my PTSD. I only have it to the point where, when you know how drivers are these days, cutting each other off, everyone's in a rush. So that's when it kind of triggers it a little bit, where I'm just like, it's a reflex. Like if we brake really hard, just by reflex, I will quickly grab this.
Yeah.
And I try to fight those as well, because I know why I do that. And so, but other than that, it doesn't hold me back from living my best life.
So after you left Breckenridge, where'd you go then?
To Dell's Children's Hospital,
Okay.
even though I was 18.
And so you had rehabilitation there.
Yes.
When did you move to Houston?
Houston, I stayed in Dell's Children for like a month and a half or 2 months. We overstayed our welcome, but my mom, they were trying to get us to leave the hospital because they have to. It's our discharge. Hospital can't keep you for over a specific amount of time.
Right.
And so they were trying to tell her that we had to discharge, but my mom wouldn't accept them. So she kept fighting them and saying that the only hospital that he's going to is Tier Memorial Hermann. That's the only hospital because she did all her research when the accident happened, and she fought through hell and back to get us into that hospital.
Wow.
Like within 2 weeks, we were accepted, which I heard it's very rare.
Oh, yeah.
But my mom, she's a fighter, and she fought for it. I'm pretty sure the Dell's Children got tired of having us there, so I'm sure they fought for us as well. So it was all thanks to my mom.
And that experience at TIR was good for you.
It was where I got my movement. I wouldn't have this arm strength if it wasn't for the staff and everybody working in the hospital. Like, because when I was in Dell's Children, I was just this amount of movement is all I was able to do. Just lift up my right arm just a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I was been right dominant. But over there, through extensive therapy, and I put in all the work, and we worked together, and I got where I am right now.
So the last few years now, you've been focused on education, right?
Yes, because before my injury, I was studying and training to join Marines. I wanted to be a recon Marine.
I see your tattoo.
This is a samurai. This is not a Marine tattoo.
Oh, okay.
No, I couldn't get that because I'm not a Marine.
All right.
I'm heavy. I believe in my heart, in my soul, that is not something that is given. That is something that is earned. So I decided against getting a Marine tattoo. But I still have these words right here. They mean honor. Honor, courage, and commitment are the 3 core values of the Marine Corps. So even though I'm not a Marine, I can still believe in its core values.
Yeah. And that's motivated you?
Yes, that's definitely helped me out, because before my injury, I was studying and training to join Marines to be a recon Marine. And so since I was a freshman in high school, I dedicated my whole high school career to join the military and be the Marines. Everybody's that if you talk to anybody that met me, they knew that I was going to join and I was going to make it, because it was almost an obsession. I woke up, I went to sleep thinking about joining the Marines. So it was a big part of my purpose.
Do you have any contact with the Marines now?
Yes, a couple of my friends are in it right now.
Yeah.
And old recruiters.
So I think one of the projects you did in the summer program was to work on a drone that will be used by a Marine who... Does the Marine have a disability, or he's just helping you?
Yes, he has a spinal cord injury.
Wow. Okay, we're going to take a break now, and we'll come back and close Jose, we'll talk some more about your motivation.
Okay.
All right. You're watching Focus on Abilities. I'm Lex Frieden. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
When your goal is to save time and money, book online with EcoPark and EcoPark 2. Now that's a smart game plan. Travel smarter, park smarter. EcoPark and EcoPark 2 at IAH.
Hey, we're here today with Jose and Vincent, and we're talking about a whole lot of subjects pertaining to disability advocacy and recovery from disability and so on. But Jose, we were discussing a project that you worked on this summer to benefit a Marine who has a disability. So that, as I recall from the story I heard, the Marine wanted to fly a drone, and you took on the challenge of figuring out how that person with a severe physical impairment could operate that drone. How did you do it? What did you do?
I did extensive research, spent a lot of hours on the websites and looking at different drone companies, looking at its capabilities and technologies. The main thing that I found were sensors and the head trackings were the big, huge component into flying the drone. And so that's how we found it.
So how do you fly a drone if you don't have good use of your hands?
Right. So for this drone, it's an FPV drone. So it has goggles, and you're looking. FPV means first person view. So you're looking at the drone through the perspective of its camera. So those goggles are transmitting the view from the camera. So it's like you're in the cockpit of the drone, and the sensors, the head tracking sensors. So when you move your head right or left, the sensors are on those goggles are in the drone, and the controller as well. The controller has sensors as well.
Wow. So that's off the shelf?
Yes.
You didn't have to do any fancy adaptations or anything?
No, the only thing that we're going to have to do is find a way to take apart the controller, and its sensors are in the controller. Everything that controls the drone is in that controller, from acceleration to brakes to turning to camera capabilities.
The head, the chips on the head, what do you call those anyway? I mean, is it a cap you wear, or you just have to plant electrodes in your head? How's that work?
Right. No, it's not a cap. It's not Neuralink either. It's the goggles that you put on, and the head tracking feature are the sensors that are in the goggle. Yes.
But that only controls what, direction and height, not speed.
No, it currently just moves the camera up and down, and it moves the drone to turn right or left. The sensors that controls everything else to make it from flying up and down
are in that little box.
Are in that controller.
So how are you going to make the box accessible?
We're gonna tear down that controller, and carefully, cause we gotta be very careful with this technology. We're gonna put it on different areas of the FPV goggles. Those sensors.
So you're gonna fix it so not only do you turn your head side to side to move the drone, but maybe you look up and the thing goes higher.
Yes.
Or you shake your head a little bit and it goes faster.
You don't shake your head to accelerate. We have I made a team. We have 2 team members that are going to work on that drone, and I also recruited 2 advisors that are professionals and experts in FPV drones and racing drones. And so one of our advisors is going to help us out with his tool that he has, which is a mouth. It's a string that's connected to the goggles, and it's a mouthpiece. So you bite it, and it accelerates the drone. So it's like a spring
You're making
release.
me crazy here.
Yes.
I got to get in line. This is cool, really cool. Well, you'll have to come back when you finish the drone and give us give us a talk about that and show us some photos. And I bet the guy that you're trying to help with that is going to be really, really happy when you get it finished.
Yes.
Vincent, those typical projects that the mentees take on in the program that you're facilitating?
Yeah, so these these were actually very unique projects from our participants. You know, we were very even though they're out of our element, we don't know too much about drones. You know, we try to just support them as best as we can and give them the tools and resources to facilitate their processes. You know, we wanted to support and try to make we try to help as much as we can, and I hope we did that. So I really admire the work they put in, because these projects they seem fantastic, and I can't wait to see when they come to fruition.
So it's not only the projects. I mean, there's also a training program that involves videos,
yes,
teaching about ADA,
yeah,
about rights, and so on and so forth. I found it interesting, Jose, when you mentioned the sidewalks and not being accessible to you, and that really frustrates me, because we as citizens, as the public, pay for the sidewalks. The money comes out of the taxes that we pay, and yet we can't use them, and I don't think that's fair, and so I think there's an advocacy challenge for all of us to get sidewalks improved. And what's the point of sidewalks if you can't use them? And we find a lot of non-disabled people who are injured on these broken sidewalks. People who are using them to push their children in a baby carriage or whatever can't manage on the sidewalk. So I think you as an advocate, maybe this is another project you can take on.
Especially because I'm from California. We got sidewalks everywhere.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I travel to California every now and then, and I have no. And I'm not saying because I'm from California, I'm not going to take sides of. I love Texas.
Yeah, I was going to jump on you there.
Right, no, I love the Texas state.
Yeah,
and
good.
So yeah, good. No, but that's one thing that that's very obvious is getting around is very, very easy. And London as well, because I traveled to London.
So the project you were involved in this summer has helped you be a better advocate?
Yes. With the ADA laws and the law aspect of it that I had no knowledge of.
Yeah. Vincent, any closing thoughts you have about your experience advising people, teaching them, helping them become better advocates?
Well, although I don't have a disability myself, I'm very grateful for the opportunity Professor Frieden gave me to really learn and delve into the world of disability advocacy. So I just really want to thank you, Jose, and anyone else, for giving me the experience and teaching me, maybe more than I've taught you, teaching me more about the world and how to approach it, sensitively. And so I appreciate you and Professor and Jose. So all I can say is just just be true to who you are and embrace it and go forward and do good.
Jose, you're what year are you in your education now?
I'm a senior in Sam Houston. I'm in the LEAP program there. That's helping me out with my academics. I'm studying for my BS in psychology, and eventually I'm going to go into med school to be a psychiatrist and hopefully get hired at TIR.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
Well, that's a good objective. I look forward to having you as a colleague there.
Likewise.
Thank you very much for being on the show today. And Vincent, thank you for being here with Jose.
Thank you.
And I want to thank all of you for watching Focus on Abilities. We've had a very interesting conversation, learned a lot today, and I hope you've enjoyed it as well. And I hope you tune in next time, because we're going to have a fantastic show coming up next on Focus on Abilities. I'm Lex Frieden. Have a great day. Tune in next time.